Dear friends, welcome back. In this video, I'd like to go through one of the machines on the Vulnhub, which is Darkhole. The link will be put into the video below so that you can download and play the machine. Although, this machine is rated as easy, but it's not so easy, which will involve a variety of techniques such as lateral movement with web application, and also privilege escalation by utilizing some techniques. All right. And before we go ahead, I'd like to point one thing out with you. The hypervisor. Which kind of hypervisor should be used to do this lab or to do this penetration? Based on my own practice, I recommend you use VMware workstation rather than VirtualBox. Okay? Before we go ahead, if you don't mind, please subscribe to my channel and leave a like below. You're greatly appreciated. So enough talk, let's just get started. We can head over to Linux VM. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target. As I mentioned before, we can utilize different techniques, but since we are in our own personal lab, the easiest way is to use NetDiscover utility. This is a built-in utility with Linux. And as you can see over here, I use option of -i to specify the interface. So all packets to discover machines will be sent from this interface. And also all responses which replied back from the alive machines would be arriving at this interface. And also I use option of -r to specify the network range to speed up this scanning process. So now we can press enter. And you can notice the target can be recognized as 2.9. So what are we going to do next? We need to conduct a map scanning to identify or to detect open ports and also, identify surface information. To save time of this video, I've already done that before. So now we can get out its result. And as you can see over here, I used the options like scene scan, the virtual scan, the default script scan. As you know, different surface will have different default scripts to scan. And followed by the option of -p- to do the comprehensive or full range port scan. Last option for all is ON to output the result into this file. So we can retrieve the results of a map scanning anytime. From the map scanning results, we can tell that the target has two open port numbers. Let's take a look at them one by one. The first one is 22, which is running SSH surface or secure shell surface, and also the version information, including exact version number 8.2. I do not think we can find any workable vulnerability for this particular version of OpenSSH. And the second one is 80, which is running HTTP service or HTTP protocol. This is the application protocol of OSI stack. And also the version information, Apache 2. And so what do we have to do next? I think we need to enter into the enumeration stage. And so where to start with? It's very clear. We need to enumerate web application first. So how to do such enumeration? we need to open up the browser to do the manual enumeration first. And I think make sure, all right, and we can put the IP address of the target into the address bar. Press enter, and we got back this site or this home page of the target. And this is the Spark diamond. Let's walk through this site, view details. I don't think this hyperlink is active or effective. And we can scroll down, but nothing can be scrolled. Okay, and here on the top, right on the right top, we can see this button, and we can right click this button and open link in new tab. And this is the user login form or small window, and we can try to use admin as username and admin as a password as well, and click sign in. However, we got the error, username or password is incorrect. And next we can try to use login bypass technique. Okay, so single quote or 1 equal 1 and slash a hyphen or hyphen, and we can use any password, sign in, and we get the same error. Okay, I think it's fine. Also below this user login form, we can notice this one, sign up now. It means that maybe we are allowed to register. Okay, for example, we can open link in new tab. Yeah, indeed we can, but before we do that, I'd like to continue the enumeration as before or as usual. So for example, we can check if we can check the source code, but nothing special here. Next, we can check to see robot file. Not found. Next, we can launch the Nicto to do the automatic enumeration. I always, let's specify the IP address correctly. So the configuration information may be available remotely. No problem. We can check to see config. And we got the file database PHP file, but we cannot see anything. And make sure to view the page source, because sometimes even the page itself is empty, but we can find something sensitive from its source code. And the CSS file, CSS directory, not a file, sorry, my bad. This is the container for the cascade style sheet files. Normally, in most cases, we cannot find anything useful or valuable. Okay, so now let's go back and log in. We have already found during the manual enumeration. So nothing interesting here. Next, we can launch the GoBuster to do the directory enumeration. And as you know, GoBuster can support different subcommands. If you use the H command, you can see the GoBuster can support available subcommands like completion, dir, use directory file enumeration mode, DNS, FAS, GCS. But for me, I always use the dir subcommand to conduct directory enumeration. Okay, so now let's complete this command, GoBuster and dir, and with option of -u to specify the target's URL. And we can use the W option to specify the word list. And not like, unlike DirBuster, the GoBuster, we must explicitly specify the word list. Otherwise, GoBuster cannot work. Okay, DirBuster, directory. I always use this word list. This is a medium size word list. And as usual, I always use the option, extension option with -x. Then the PHP file, HTML, text back. Let's start our enumeration or directory enumeration. to be more specific, dashboard. However, I think we can access this file, dashboard, PHP, but not allowed to access. So I think, in other words, we should be authenticated first to access this dashboard PHP file. Okay, so how about upload? Very interesting discovery. So maybe we can upload something to the target, for example, like web shell. Oh, we find this picture. This is a very good picture. We can download this picture to convenience, and we can navigate to our working directory and save. And in the meantime, we can analyze this picture to see whether there is any hidden message. Oh, okay. So we can use the exif2 picture. You know, this command can retrieve all metadata of this file, and especially picture. And I also think the exif2 can support other formats or other files. And we go back to the output of this exif2, nothing interesting. So how about stack height, extract? We try to extract information or try to extract hidden information from the picture. No passphrase, no, and stack seek. Couldn't find a valid passphrase. Okay, so I don't think we can find any useful or valuable information from the picture. So let's go back to the terminal, nothing else. And also register. I think we have already found this page or this file register. So how to do next? Next, I think we need to test whether this user login form is vulnerable to SQL injection vulnerability, right? So how to test? Let me show you the way. You know, this is my personal way, especially when we deal with the post form, or when we deal with the form, and this form would be submitted by post method. Okay, so how to do? We can turn the proxy to Burp Suite, and then we can launch the Burp Suite. So all traffic sent from the browser will be going through the Burp Suite. Next. Proxy. Make sure intercept option is on. And now we can put anything like a domain and password and click sign in. And we got the request. And then we can copy this request or save this request to file. And let me navigate to our working directory, Darkhole. And we can use any name for this file. But for me, I always use this file name, rec, which stands for request. So then we can put up the terminal to launch SQLMap with option, what I'm doing, and with option of R, which stands for request, rec, and we can set the level to 3. I think SQLMap can support level up to 5. All right, continue, yes. Do you want to URL encode cookie? Yes, no problem. Yes. But parameter leveler doesn't seem to be injectable. So in other words, SQLMap failed to inject malicious information to this form. Okay, so how to the next? Maybe the vector or attacked vector lies in somewhere else. One more thing I'd like to mention. Just now we have already found the sorry, I forgot to make notes. So the port number is 22. I don't think it's good. It's good practice. HTTP and enumeration. Okay, so now maybe I think we can turn off the Burp Suite because we don't need it anymore, and we can restore the proxy to default one or disable the proxy. And now I think we can refresh the page and login. Oh, we can register. Maybe we can register a new user. For example, we can, and another very important point I'd like to raise for you is, here this is the username, but we don't know what it is about, and this one is password. So to get more or to get clear information about this field, we can click the mouse and inspect, and we can get a focus on this field. So I think from the name we can know that this should be the email. If you don't know this is the email, maybe you will fail to register new user. Okay, so we can use any username like JSON and any email like, sorry, what I'm doing, JSON test.com, and password like 1 2 3 4 5. Register. As you can see, register successful. So now I think we can log in with this new user, JSON, and password is 1 2 3 4 5. Sign in. And although we have already got access to this dashboard, but this dashboard is very easy, very simple. Okay, and here you can notice on the right we can update password. And for example, if you put to 1 2 3 and change, as you can see, password has been updated. So next, I think, because we cannot find anything else to attack or to penetrate into this application, it would be wiser to launch the Burp Suite again to analyze the request and response again. Navigate to Proxy tab and turn on Intercept option. And for example, we can put any new user, a new password like 1 2 3 4 5, and we can change, and then we can get the request. As you can notice here, in the body of this request or this form, we can notice the two parameters. The one is password, we set 1 2 3 4 5. However, alongside this password, we can notice this parameter ID. So I think it simply means the current user ID is 2. So what will happen if we change the ID to 1? Normally the ID of 1 means the administrator, right? So now we can forward. As you can see, now we can forward again. We don't see any error, right? So maybe we have already manipulated or modified the password for the admin user. So let's try to, maybe I can turn off the intercept, and now we can log out, and the username would be admin, and the password would be 1 2 3 4 5. sign in. As you can see, we are successful. We are successful manipulating the password for the administrator. Even we can, as you can see here, we can upload some file. I think because after all, this machine is not a real application. It's very clear what we have to do next. We need to upload something to the target. For example, like a web shell. So how to do? Let me got it from two sets directory, and we can change or modify this script. And the IP address, this should be the IP address of our attacking machine. And if you want, you can change the port number, either like 555. For me, I always use this port number. So next we can write and quit. So now let's go back to the browser and browse. And we can navigate to my working directory, shell, and we can upload. However, we got an error, allow extension, GPG, PNG, GIF. It means there will be some whitelist or blacklist working at the background. So how to do? And there'll be different techniques to bypass such control adopted by the web application. And the easiest way, or at least we tried the first way, to change, is to change the extension. So we can move or copy shell and shell HTML. Okay, so now let's do it again. We can browse, select, upload. As you can see now, the file has been uploaded successfully. Great. So now let's put up the terminal to set up the listener on the Linux, waiting for the collection from the target. So now we can click this file. We even needn't to find its location. We just click this link, and then we can get the collection from the target, and we can spawn a much better shell by Python. We can check the version of Python. Python 2 is not there. Python 3 is there, so we can import PTY module. This is the built-in Python module, and PTY spawn method. We can spawn bash. Okay, it's much better. So also we can define the environment variable term. Then we can clear the screen when necessary. For example, we can run clear. As you can see, we can get a bigger space on the screen. Next, what do we have to do next? We need to do some local enumeration on the target to find vector, which can allow us to make lateral movement or privilege escalation directly. We can go to home directory and go to the Darkhole. Nothing here. Go to the John. Oh, user. But at this moment, we don't have permission to retrieve this file. Okay. So how about password? Also, we do not have permission. How about SSH directory? We don't have permission to access this private key. Yeah, permission denied. So let's go back. So how about the 22? And this 22 has SUID bit on SetUID. It means that when current user run this binary, maybe this is binary, right? 22. When run this executable, will temporarily get the privilege of the owner. So before we try to manipulate this binary or executable, we need to see how it's behaving. For example, let's run it to 2. It looks like when we run this binary, the ID command is being executed at the background. And also the user would be different, John, not the current user. Because current user is www-data. So I think we can, maybe also we can run strings to see whether we can get back some readable characters of this executable. Demo, SetUID. So I think just we guessed earlier, this binary has something to do with ID command, right? So how to do next? We can create our own ID command. So how to do? And we can go to temp directory here. This is where we can play around everything. Okay, for example, we can create our own ID command, and we need to make it executable, and also we need to change the path variable to to include the current directory temp where our own ID command is living. Okay, and also we need to append the existing path variable. And now if we go to the home John, let's run it again. As you can see, we have already become John user. So far we have already made lateral movement successfully. So next, I think we can grab the user flag. And how about the password? So here is the password. Maybe this is the password of the current user or a root user. Maybe we can try to use this password to make privilege escalation or switch user to root. So we can copy and paste in here. It doesn't seem working, authentication failure. So we can run sudo. Maybe this is for this user. This password is for the John. So we can paste over here again. Indeed. So I think we can elevate our shell to root user by utilizing this script. And let's take a look at this file. At this moment, nothing in this file. And the current user John has right permission to this file. It means that we can, maybe we can SSH to the target, right? SSH John, because this would be better. And yes, root 1, 2, 3. Okay, and we can make the font to be bigger. So next, I think we can write or append some Python statement into this file. Let's use the Vim editor, Vim, and file, and we can import OS module and run the command bin bash. Very easy. And now we can sudo. Maybe we can sudo again. And root 1, 2, 3. We just sudo and copy this and paste in here. As you can see, we have already made successful privilege escalation. We can navigate to root directory to grab the root flag without any problem. So that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you in the next one. Bye. Have a nice day, please.